is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back today to record the May 2023 horoscope for everyone. This is for all signs. And I just did one over on Instagram, but I've been kind of doubling up because my viewership's different than over here. Not, entirely, but I know that there's some people that watch me over there as well, but I wanted to see what the May energy is really, really intense, and I'm really actually interested to see if I pick up similar vibes or if something else comes up. And yeah, before I begin, I just want to remind everybody that I am offering private readings still, that you can book a private reading if you'd like. You need to send a payment and email me to get scheduled. You book it through PayPal. Basically, I'll reach out to you if I don't see an email come through to schedule. You can also send it through Venmo or Cash App. Venmo's at Oracle Daphne. Cash App is $Oracle Daphne. I don't know what's going on with my housing situation. I know that I have like a month left in this location, and then after that I don't really know. So anybody who wants to donate is super appreciated. Anybody who wants to book, I basically am booking through June 1st right now. After that, I don't know what my schedule is going to look like, and I don't know really what comes next. And it's kind of exciting, a little bit daunting, but I kind of knew that this was going to happen, and hopefully things can shift and change, and I'll know maybe later in May like what's more going on in schedule wise, what I'm able to do. So if you want to book a reading, now is the time. Happy to book, later in May if you'd like, up until, like I said, June 1st. After that, I'm pretty much just kind of playing it by ear. And yeah, I am just doing a regular tarot reading. But before I jump in, I do also want to make a note. I made a note of this, that Mercury is going direct on Sunday, May 14th. And it looks like in the evening. So, but it's something to look forward to. We are about to get into last week of Mercury retrograde, and last week is actually my favorite week out of the 3 weeks of Mercury retrograde hell, because it's easier to move forward and easier to plan ahead, and you don't have to reschedule quite so much. So yeah, I feel like it's going to be easier for the retrograde. For those of you who don't like Mercury retrogrades, I feel like it's going to be easier for that alone. And then things are going to lighten up because the sun is going to be entering the sign of Gemini, which is an air sign. And just Gemini is like the butterfly of the zodiac. Gemini kind of flits and floats around, and every Gemini I've ever met has an element of lightheartedness that other signs just do not. They can get depressed just like anybody else, but to me, it's they have this natural buoyancy or natural lightheartedness that's very special, that's unique. So I'm looking forward to when the sun finally gets out of the sign of Taurus and goes into a Gemini on the 21st. That's May 21st. In the morning. So really, it's not that much longer here before we get to May 20th, because early May 20th, when we go to sleep, we'll wake up and the sun will be in Gemini. So something to think about. But yeah, I'm just gonna lay out a spread, see what I get for everybody. Hopefully some interesting things will come through. I was reading from my deck on Instagram. My deck is just paper still. I haven't made it into an actual deck yet. It's still sort of experimental. So I'm not going to hold up those cards, but I am going to hold up my Shadowscapes deck once we get going. So yeah, I'm going to lay out a spread. Um, I want everybody to really work on, I guess, what I would say is like the law of attraction or attracting in the good, and work on like maybe doing some protection energy to kind of push away the negative, because there's a couple of cards here that I'm seeing that like to me this is like my least favorite energy, and I've seen this before where it's like the universe just sends you junk. um and to me, it's like the universe is going to send you a couple pockets of junk, a couple of things of junk, and you're just going to have to really work on clearing away that energy, not allowing that energy in, not allowing the negative in, saying no to things, saying no to like the fears, worries, and doubts, saying no to the negative shit that you have going on in your head, saying no to the confusion, the depression, saying no to anything that gets in your way, anything that draws you off track, anything that's like any person that's not 100% truthful to you or 100% on the up and up. And everything that you do in May, especially mid-May, needs to be on the up and up in the sense that it can't be where you're involved in shady shit, or you're involved in stuff that's not good for your health, or that you're kind of wallowing in kind of a depression kind of energy, because that's not going to help you. I feel like if you can really work on keeping the negative stuff at bay and really work on like your inner compass, that's what I want to say. Inner compass, because we have the moon here. And we have this Eight of Swords here. And to me, that's depression energy, that's worst case scenario, like doubts. That can be also negative energies coming in from the outside. So it's like psychic attack energy, or feeling like, a sense of like there's no opportunities, or there's no out, or there's no options. I put them aside because I just feel like it's important for people to start to really be cognizant about what they're attracting. What kind of energy are they attracting? Are they attracting the good? Or are they attracting the negative stuff? Now, if you're a light worker, you might naturally be attracting some negative stuff. Um, if you're, you've got some people in your life that are not supportive in whatever way, or they're not healthy for you because there's a lot of negativity there. My guide is showing me a person that's very, very negative that I know. You got to watch who you're surrounding yourself with. I feel like I feel like you're going to know, you know, um, if it's a person, you're going to know if it's a person. That's what I want to say. I feel like like we all can get depressed, even the best of us, even the people that like, you could be clearing your energy 20 times a day. You can be like putting on all kinds of protection energy and your layers and your aura and stuff. And at the same time, you could still feel depressed. You could still feel like, you're attracting in, negative energies or things like that, or like trying to keep the world at bay. So like, I feel like these are the real challenges that you're going to have in the month of May. Um, and that's coming up here very strongly. I feel very much that you're going to be able to, um, and I saw this over on Instagram as well, that you're going to be able to overcome whatever obstacles are sent your way. I feel like you're going to be able to overcome them. I feel like they're not going to last in your life for that long. Whatever it is that you're moving on from, whatever it is, it could be energy wise, it could be a person, it could be a place. Whatever you're moving on from is going to be a blessing to you. You need to, I want to say, welcome in the blessings. Welcome in, allow in. It's so weird because I was thinking about this. I was thinking about how with some people, and myself included, and I didn't really even understand this, and it's something that I need to kind of work on more. But some people don't know what love feels like because they're not allowing it in their energy. They have some kind of wall in their energy, which makes it so like they're shielded, but they're shielded from the love. So they have no idea what love feels like. They have no idea what love actually is. They can't tell the difference between something that's good for them or something that's bad for them. They're not functioning in their intuition. Maybe they're hyper intellectualized, they could have a lot of strong air in their chart. It doesn't even matter. They could just hyper intellectualize everything. And then the problem is that when it comes to love, or when it comes to, finding a partner or having a partner, it makes it really hard because they just don't know what love feels like, and they just don't know what it actually is. And so the question that I have, so I've done some work, okay? So I've done some work in the past before with people who have had this issue, and I've done work myself on this issue. So in order for that to change, you have to say out loud, I allow love in. If you want to specify, okay, you say, okay, I allow love in from a certain person. Say their name out loud. Like if you feel comfortable with that person and you want to test it, you can say, I allow love in from so-and-so. You can test it from somebody that you really know does love you, in the sense that they're pretty confident. Someone that, I'm seeing like maybe a parent. I'm seeing maybe like even like a child. You can test it with a child, because children, their love is unconditional. Their love is incredibly pure. So it's safe. I wouldn't test it with somebody like you don't really know, but if you have a positive vibe about somebody, you could test it and see if you feel anything. This is very important for people to do at this time, because I feel like you're not allowing in, if you're not allowing in the love, and you're shielding yourself from the love, then there's just no way for you to make a good determination about who to have in your life. And therefore, what happens is that you're basically blocking out the good, you're allowing in whatever, and we just have, situations and things that maybe are not the best for you, and people that are not the best. I'm seeing a lot of people in this reading, so you're going to be very busy, or you're going to have a lot of people around you at this time. It's so funny. In one of my eclipse videos, and I don't remember which one it was, I said that it could have been on my other channel, The Whale Called Moon. But basically, I said in one of my videos that there was going to be like a clusterfuck of people. That's what I saw for like the eclipse. And then I was like, okay. I went to the store yesterday, and there was a bus of people that came in, like a busload of people that came in to the store, all ordering what I wanted to order. There was like 25 people from this bus. And like, of course, everybody was all checking out at the same time. And so I think that like you might see more of that actually. It's just like, I feel like there's a lot of people that are showing up now. People could show up at a party. People could show up at like some kind of social gathering. People can show up at church. People can show up at the gym. People can show up at the grocery store. People can show up, all kinds of places. But to me, this is a lot of people showing up. Maybe this is friends. Maybe this is your parents. Maybe this is like brothers, siblings, sisters, cousins, relatives. Some of you are doing some things that are like spending time with family, or spending time like going to like a social gathering of some sort. It could be sports. It could be just like going to somebody's house for like a barbecue, or food. Maybe somebody invites you, you know, for some kind of thing like at a park somewhere or a picnic somewhere, or like, yeah, like where there's just food somewhere. But there's a lot of these people. Some of you are dating, some of you ladies are dating multiple guys. I'm seeing 4 different guys here. Like you're going through guys like water. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Some of you guys, are trying, this is kind of funny. You're trying to decide who you want to sleep with. Okay. So you might be dating and you're like, I don't know how this is going to go, or maybe, how this other one is going to go. Maybe you're attracted to someone, but maybe you're attracted to somebody else more so. There's some level of attraction here for the guys, okay? For the guys that are watching, to me, there's a level of attraction. I definitely feel like somebody has the hots for you. Whoever's watching, there's someone who has the hots for you. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to sleep with them, but you could. I feel like you could. There is a chance that you could. Maybe later in time. I do feel like some of you, like you're going to sleep with someone and then they get scared. Like it's like immediately like, I'm not saying that they're going to ghost you, but like they could kind of just get scared and you're kind of just like, okay, like where's this going? Like what's going to happen? I'm seeing that here. I don't feel like for the majority of you that there's a lot of blockages. I feel for the majority of you for the month of May, especially later in May, as we get to June, there's a lot of good things that are going to happen. It's interesting because we got the Sun card showing up later in time, and to me that's one of the joy cards. So you're going to be really enjoying what you're doing for work or what you're doing in life in general. To me, there's a certain level of just enjoying life. It's interesting. I pulled the Dandelion card, which is kind of like the Sun card when I was over on Instagram. So for some of you, it's having a sense of there's something really, really positive that's going to make you very happy. Maybe you're maybe spending some time in the sun. Maybe you're spending time outdoors. My guys are showing me like going to a beach somewhere or just like being outside somehow. I feel like some of you guys are like really pulled where it's like you really, really want to spend more time outside or really want to go do stuff, but like for whatever reason you have to stay in. Some of you, there's someone that's studying to go to law school or like is in law school. Like to me, there's a strong study energy where it's like you have to stay in and study versus like wanting to go outside and kind of play or like maybe even just go for a run or something. So to me, there's this strong legal vibe here. I do feel like we've got the 8 of Pentacles card. It's a very positive card for being very on task and very detail oriented and very focused. I see that. I'm going to pull some other cards from my other deck and see what else I get. I feel like I'm not getting too much more of a story here from this reading. So in general, I feel like May is going to be a pretty decent time. You know, each one of you are going to have your own individual things that you're going to have to deal with. I don't feel like those things are the worst case things in the world, though. I feel like it's almost like there's an underlying energy of, or like an underlying energy of kind of, I want to say forcing things to happen, making things happen, doing things. And it's really, really weird because in my reading on Instagram, I had this really strange feeling that there was this strong energy, not necessarily of nostalgia, but of just like looking back at the past and wanting to go back into the past and make something different. And it's like this really weird energy of time or time management. I feel like some of you are at odds with time itself. That's what I want to say. And some of you, like, it's almost like there's so much going on that like I can't read it because there's too much going on. And some of you like really want me to get specific, and I'm not going to, because I only read how I read. And some of you, like, your energy is like pushing, in the sense that like it's like a demand for information. It's like a demand for something good, or it's a demand for like, it's like challenging. It's kind of challenging. And I only read how I read. And I don't bow down to those kinds of demands in spirit. I don't. First of all, because people pay me for my services. Number one. Number two, I do these readings because I feel called to do them, not because anybody's forcing me to, but because this is like my work since 2014. And because the universe threw me a bone when I was working at a law firm and was like, this is what you're going to go do. Because I basically had been shortchanged on everything else that came up. And this is what the universe wanted me to do. So for anybody who's challenging me at this time, this is where I'm not really having it, because it's not okay, number one. Number two is that like anybody who like really is trying to force energy in their life, this is not a time to do that. It might cause a lot of frustration for people because there's like a want to like the energy to be different than what it is. There's a want to know how things are going to go because it will make things appear to be more rosy than they actually are. And I've told people this before, and I'm going to say this again, that I'm absolutely, I read the cards the way I read them, and I do not sugarcoat the cards. I don't spin things for people so that they can have their happily ever after or whatever it is that they ultimately want. That's like a daydream. This is real life. I read real life. And I feel like the energies that I'm picking up today specifically are very like intensely like wanting something different than what I am saying. Now there's nothing wrong with that per se, but like I can't make anyone's life different. And I want to say something too. This is very important. Hang on one second. I am a huge believer that energy can shift and change. That we live in a way, in like a program that at times works for us and at times works against us. And the only way to actually, I don't know, have the perspective, the only way to really make it through this process, as life is a process, as a construction thing that we're constantly working on, is to actually put in the work. Is to actually, like for some people, if it's not what you want, if you're not getting what you want, or if you're not getting what you want out of life, you're going to have to make the change. You're going to have to make things different. You're going to have to work 10 times harder than how you're working right now. And if there's people that don't like what's happening in their life, they are going to have to really, really work at that and really, really work at changing that, because the algorithm or the program or the astrology or whatever it is, number one, is constantly shifting and changing. And number two, can work against you. and isn't necessarily set up to give you what you want. The quantum field does not function in that way. The quantum field functions in a weird computer-esque way where you throw something at it and it computes it in the way it's going to compute it. And you can only really try to put out there the best stuff for yourself. And you can only really try to put out there what you want to get back. But it's not going to happen where you're forcing it. It's not going to happen where you're not working towards it. It's not going to happen when you have no goals. It's not going to happen when you are trying desperately to nail down your future. And I learned this so well, because at a time when I was trying to nail down my future, I was severely injured shortly thereafter. At the time when I was like, okay, I almost got everything set up. Everything is almost in place. I'm almost there. I just got to set a couple other things and I'll be okay. And then what happened? I got severely injured. And so I also I've read for enough people that I have to tell you, life is not about nailing everything down so that you can sit and feel comfortable finally when everything is done and completed. It's not about getting to the final point where you can sit on your porch and have some iced tea and be like, oh, we're going to take a deep breath now, or because we finally, got the career we want. We finally got the car we want. We finally got the house we want. It's not about that. It'll never be about that. Because if people approach it that way, they're going to be severely disappointed. Now, there are people that sit on their porch. They're very happy with the things that they've achieved, and it's good for them and good for everybody who's achieved everything in their life that they've wanted to achieve. I'm a goal-oriented person, but I also know that hard work is required. And if I see energy, which is like sort of forceful, I'm just here to remind everyone that as much as you want to try to force your life at this time, you can't. You can allow things into your life. And I just looked at the cards and I saw the death card at the bottom of the deck. You can allow, and the death card is transformation. The death card is deciding, okay, I'm willing to change. I'm willing to change my name. I'm willing to change my phone number. I'm willing to change my house. I'm willing to change my clothes. I'm willing to change my friends. I'm willing to change family. I'm willing to change, until finally you get to a point where you realize that all there is change in life, and all there is growth. All there is growth and change, and we take none of the physical stuff that we're trying to nail down, none of the career, none of the family, none of the stuff that we are absolutely trying to solidify. So some of you are really, really, like, your energy is very intense. It's very almost like forceful in the sense that you really, really want certain things to have happen. And I don't necessarily feel like you know how to get there. And I don't necessarily feel like you're really working towards getting there. You just want things to happen a certain way. So I am going to pull some other cards. I wanted to pull some other cards from this deck, but I wanted to point that out because I feel it very strongly, and it's not going to change anything. Like, some of you want it so much. It's not going to change anything, you wanting it that much. Now, some of you, like, you can be very willful and get your way, but it's not going to change. You could say what God has planned for you. It's not going to change the algorithm. It's not going to change the programming. You have to either work with the programming or work against the programming. If you're working against the programming, you're going to have to work really effing hard to get shit to change. Because the only way it will is with your free will. So you're going to have to say no to stuff. You're going to have to say fuck that stuff. You're going to have to say, I'm going to work 10 times harder to get what I want. You're going to have to really, really focus. You're going to have to be willing to sacrifice. And it's not going to be pretty. And you're going to have to say, you know what, I'm going to go my own way. That's really what's going to have to happen in order for you to get what you want. Otherwise, you can try manifesting it. Or you can try allowing it. Those are your options, really. It's a difficult It's a difficult, I want to say, reality check that I'm delivering here for you guys today. Very, very challenging and very difficult for some of you because it's not what you want. And, but I'm not here to deliver people what they want. I am not the good news fairy, although I like being the good news fairy when I can deliver good messages, but I'm not here to deliver the perfect life for everybody because it's first of all, it's going to be different for everybody, number one. And number two is that it's not my responsibility to make people's lives what they want them to be. Number one. Number two is that I can only be a guide and say, okay, if you do this, and if you don't do this, this is what I see happening. Or if you do this and you don't do this, this is what could come to pass. That is my role. My role is not sitting here telling you how everything in May is going to be amazing. Because I can tell you it's not. I can tell you that the things that are going to happen in May are setting you up for June. So you can decide whether you want to take the bad shit in May with you or you can leave it behind. That's what I want to say. Some of you are very hurt. Maybe someone's betrayed you or you feel like some loss, pain, suffering, some kind of stuff. And there's some kind of damage in the sense that there's some kind of hurt. And to me, it's you need healing because you're not really over that hurt. They say that when you're broken, you break other people or something like that. So that, that's, you may be also attracting broken people too. The thing is that with broken people, like myself, I've been broken in life before. So I can say from personal experience, there is no controlling becoming a broken person. There's only understanding the process of healing and really only understanding how you move on from it, in that it's a process. It's not something that's easy. It's just a process. And you'll know that you've healed when you meet somebody new that is a healed person. Or that you'll know that you've healed when you meet somebody new who's able to reflect back the love that you finally have for yourself after being broken. Some of you are manifesting hookups. Some of you are manifesting some kind of cheating situation. Could be, I feel like it's more of a girlfriend, boyfriend kind of cheating situation. Some of you don't really feel loved, maybe from people in your life, friends, family. Some of you are really wanting a soulmate. Some of you do have what I call the menagerie. You got the menagerie card, which is about having the pets, kids, house, garden. There is love, there's money, there's happiness, but it's kind of a crazy, chaotic kind of situation. Some of you are unhappily married as well. I'm seeing that. So we got both sides of the coin here for that. We have, to me, there's so much contrast in these cards. It's very interesting. So some of you got my card that I call my Rancher Dude card, which is about this person, the whole package kind of a person, which is somebody you've been waiting for your whole life. There's romance, happiness, great sex, a life together with someone. So either you are my Rancher Dude person or you're just the person that is wanting the whole package. So like you could be wanting a whole package kind of relationship. And people that want the whole package, there's nothing wrong with that, you know? The thing about this card though is that as we grow in time, what we want changes in life with partnerships, with relationships. So like what I once thought of as my rancher dude person is not the person that I'm going to end up with. It's not, in a way, like yes and no. Like it's like the rancher dude it was like an ideal. So some of you have an ideal of what you want. It's an idealistic thing. And I learned, over time that the best relationships, are not ideal. It's not this, because the ideal stuff really sets everybody up for failure. I'm not saying you can't have somebody that you're attracted to or you can't find somebody who's a whole package. But if you go up to somebody and say, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. I think you're the one. It's not going to work because they're going to get scared. They're going to be overwhelmed. They're not going to want to be with you. Like, has anybody ever walked up to you and said, I think you're the person for me? Like, it's happened to me where people, I've met people, met men, and like, they've been like wanting to marry me. They've wanted to marry me. They've known that that I was the person for them, that I was going to have their children and that all this stuff. And it's terrifying when somebody comes up to you and is like, I think you're the one, So I would really caution everybody that's watching against this idealism with relationships. Some of you are trying to really be like, where's my person? Where's my Mr. Right? Because the rancher dude is kind of like a Mr. Right, only the difference is that the person that you're going to end up with is not anything probably like your ideal at all. The person you're going to end up with is someone that just loves you, that gets you, that's kind of quirky, they're funny, they make you laugh, you have a good time, the sex is great, but it's just not, it's not ideal in the sense that it's not like perfect, And that's the beauty of it. So I'm just going to tell you that, I hate to burst the bubble. I feel like I'm bursting a lot of bubbles today, but guys caught me at a bad day. This is post the eclipse. Yesterday was insane. So post eclipse, Beth is bursting, Oracle Daphne is bursting bubbles. Beth is bursting the bubbles today. I'm seeing like older children for some of you. Some of you have like children that are older. When I say older, they could be like teenage years or older. There is something about a reveal here. Could be getting revealed that like a partner is cheating on you some way, somehow. Now, it doesn't have to be, there's really great areas with this, okay? So like, this is just kind of maybe discovering that someone is sleeping with somebody else, maybe that you weren't expecting, or that maybe someone is in a relationship and maybe they didn't tell you they're in a relationship, or they have somebody else. The reveal can lead to some kind of meltdown or the end of a relationship. Usually, in life, there's the reveal and then something happens afterwards. Like people come to the decision point of like, okay, this isn't going to work. We're going to move on. Goodbye. Doesn't always have to be that way with this card, but I feel like for most of you, if there's a big reveal, it's going to be the end of a relationship. That's what I want to say. Some of you, the reveal is like, let's just say you've been cheating on a spouse or you've been cheating on a girlfriend. This is where, or boyfriend, okay? This is where you find out the spouse is also cheating as well. Now that could be individual. Like it could be just like, okay, maybe there's no reveal, but I'm here to tell you that most likely if you have a partner, they're also sleeping with somebody as well. If you're sleeping with somebody else outside of that relationship, outside of that commitment. Some of you are very tired and you need to get some sleep. And more output of energy is going to cause what's called like a tear in your aura, where it's just like there's too much demand on your energy and not enough like recalibration or like pulling your energy back inwards. Some of you, the cycle of poverty and hardship has been broken and you're going to be making a lot of money. I want to say money hand over fist. So like more money than you're expecting. And there's a lot of abundance that's coming. Some of you, need to work on breaking that cycle. But I feel like for the most part, for most of you, that cycle is going to be broken. That cycle is broken. Now, there are certain things that can break that cycle. Number one is if you were to get improvements in finances some way through a job, through like, let's just say your finances improved through a partner or through a marriage or through some kind of donations or like some kind of, extra side income or something that comes in that is no longer making it so like you're struggling so hard. Some of you are going to end up in a blended family, maybe with kids from previous relationship, maybe with kids of your own, and or potentially like adopting. That's what I want to say. You may decide to adopt later in time. Some of you have what I call whale syndrome, which is whale syndrome is a term that I came up with, which is really about absorbing too much negativity. This is like really like waiting to hear negativity, listening for negativity, and then biting or pouncing on the negativity. Anytime anybody says anything that's verbalized that's negative, that's like you kind of grab at it versus like listening for the positive, or listening for like the good things. Sometimes this can be emotionally damaged people or just poor communicators. This a lot of times is Virgo, Pisces rising, Pisces moon, and people with strong Leo in their chart. Okay. To me, it's like an absorption kind of thing where it's like the whales eat like tiny little krill. That's what they eat. So, this is where you're absorbing like, all these like tiny little negative things, and you need to, really listen for the positive things and like not get so sucked into like the negative stuff that's going on online, the negative stuff that's going on in your, apartment, the negative stuff that's going on with friends, family. There's people that we know. Okay. I'm sure there's people that we all know that are the kind of people that just don't listen to the good stuff. They really will only talk about the bad stuff. They don't listen for the good. So, I feel like this is a female energy. Males that are watching, I don't feel like this is you. This could be somebody in your life, but I feel like for most of you, this is like an older female. To me, older female, older than 35, mostly, I want to say 50 or more. 50 or older. They just have a tendency to be attracted to the negative. It doesn't necessarily mean they're the worst people in the world, okay? Good people can be attracted to negative things. How many people tuned into a certain trial, okay, going on online, which was totally negative. I mean, it was just like a vamp situation where all the energy was just sucked away. I can't even tell you. So this is not a judgment. It's just more of like needing to be aware of what's draining your energy. You need to be aware of like listening for more positive stuff and being aware of the positive stuff rather than getting really sucked down hard into like the little tiny negative stuff. Some of you just need to be cleared of negativity that's around you. Some of you that are suffering from depression, you need love. And I was thinking about this. This is so interesting. This is coming out. I was thinking about this today. That regardless of what's happened in our childhood, regardless of how many people in our life actually supports us and loves us, we all need more love. And there needs to be more love in the world. And I think that it's really hard sometimes to kind of combat or fight or like deal with the not the negative, but like the people that aren't loving, that don't really get it. There are people, my guide is showing me, that have what I would call like a blackened heart, where they just don't, their heart is not open. The heart is closed. Now, does that mean that they'll never be able to love, or that they can't heal, or like, no, it's just that most likely not. And it's like, if we are all sort of stuck in this place of being incapable of love, we're all stuck in this place of being depressed, or all stuck in this place of like not really having had a positive childhood, or not really having had what we needed as far as love, as far as people in our life, then essentially the cycle is going to continue, because eventually it's like everybody is going to become too damaged to love each other, which then does not pass on a loving experience to the children. And those children are not going to be passing on a loving experience to their children. So that's kind of how it goes. It's just something that everybody needs to think about. It's something in the collective right now. I absolutely think it's in the collective. I feel like the mental health thing is becoming like kind of crisis point, where there's a lot of people who are depressed. And I feel like the people that are depressed, more so than any ever, need to know that they're loved, need to know that it's capable. There are people out there that are capable of loving them. It's just they haven't necessarily met them. And going back to what I said, I don't know if it was in this reading or another reading where I said it's really important to say the words out loud. Maybe this one. I am open to love from the world, or I'm open to love from specific people. I think I did say that in this reading, so that's coming up again. Some of you do need to reinvent yourself. That's really what has to happen. You maybe come to a dead end in life, or you're just coming to like a point in life where you don't really know what comes next, or maybe it's time to switch jobs. Maybe it's just time to have a new outlook. But to me, it's about reinventing yourself. There is this card that I added into my deck that talks about, I call it a phase that talks about, I call it doesn't matter, quote unquote, phase, where it feels like you can't really get what you want, so nothing really seems to matter. Or like, let's just say you really loved somebody, but maybe they didn't love you back. And then at the end of the day, you might feel like it doesn't matter that you love them, or that you wanted a relationship with them. I forgot to check my chat. Okay. So it's sort of like some of you just need to have renewed hope that you're going to be happy in life. That it's just a phase. It's just like this mind fuck of like feeling like it doesn't matter that you want what you want, or that it doesn't matter that you're not getting what you want from a specific person, or you're not getting what you want from like a career, or you're not getting what you want. Like it feels like for some of you, like you feel like you have to minimize. To me, this is about minimizing yourself, feeling small, because there's like a lack of validation because you're not getting what you want. It's sort of like a lack of validation from the universe, and because you're not getting what you want, it leads to this phase where it almost feels like it doesn't matter what you want. It almost feels like it doesn't matter that you want, let's just say hypothetically, to get married, or like that you might want to date a certain person, or that you might want to have, let's just say, a long-term relationship, or you might want to have, I don't know, like a beach house somewhere. It doesn't even matter. Like honestly, like you could want, everybody wants what they want. And it's going to be a million different things, and I can't go through all of them. But it's sort of like when nothing things seems to matter because you're not getting what you want. It's a phase. And I want to remind everybody that it's just a phase, okay? So please, the one thing I wanted everybody to take away from this reading is that things can shift and change. And the more we work at it, the more we try at it, the more we go for what we want, the more of a chance that things are going to shift and change. If we sit back and we say, okay, we're just going to wait for the universe to deliver, okay, something positive today. I'm telling you, you're going to be severely disappointed when things just aren't as you want them to be. And it's so funny. I feel like this whole reading is about people not really getting what they want and being very like disappointed, so disappointed that it feels like it doesn't matter what they want and that they have to live small some way, somehow. And I truly believe that everybody can change that. People can change that feeling, and they can change, and it will change because it's just a phase. It's not forever. But in order to get what you want, again, going back, people need to work harder at it. People really need to be like, okay, well, what's available to me right now? People need to be really like in that space of, I'm grateful for everything I do have. I'm happy with what I have. And if you're not happy with what you have, it's necessary to work on doing stuff that's going to bring you more happiness and make the changes necessary, make the sacrifices necessary in order to bring you your own happiness. To me, again, there's a strong Pisces element here. Strong Pisces element of like a longing for living larger, or for being more, or for doing more, or for feeling like what you want matters. And a lack of initiative to go after it. So, I really want to leave off here. I feel like my throat chakra is getting heavily psychic attacked the more I talk about this. So it's very hard for me to continue on with this reading, but I hope that it helps someone. And I hope that people appreciate it. And I hope that later in time, it hope maybe shifts the energy a little bit in a positive direction. And yeah, I think that's just where I want to leave it. I appreciate all the love and support, guys. I send everyone big hugs, big kisses. And I'll talk to you guys again soon, okay? All the best, guys. Have a good day, guys. Bye, guys.